Everybody, and welcome to Hex Token Channel. Your host, Superman, in the house. Your boy. I don't know why I do that, but I love it. I don't know. How you going, everybody? Hope you're doing well. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, and yeah, let's get into it. Hex Force 1's in the house already. First, you get the prize. Woo! Hey, Superman, good to see Hex Force 1. And, of course, we've got Lies Beneath the Truth is in the house with the truth. And, of course, hello, how are you today? We've got EHEX. Hex, PLS, PLSX, and incentive token for the win. They are the Richard Hart tokens, the gold standard of crypto. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And of course, who else is in here? Groot's in here too. Woo! Good to see you, Groot. And a big shout out to Groot. Groot punched out a $10 super sticker, so I do appreciate that. A big, strong one there. Thank you so much, Groot, for that. Woohoo! And up and away, as I say, up and away. We've got KD in the house there. Good to see you all. Let's go. Absolutely, KD, good to see you as well. We've got who else has jumped in here? Danu's in the house there. Hello, Superman and all Hexkins. Happy to be here again, and good to see you. Is today the day we waiting since 2 weeks? 2 weeks. We're getting it 1 day closer. Danu is probably the way we'd put it. 1 day closer, but we are waiting for V4. That's not up yet, so obviously they're still doing their thing and getting it up. I'm sure it will be up pretty soon. V4 can't be too far away. Was expected to be last week, but probably Sunday, probably the end of last week, but it's obviously spilled over to this week, so we're waiting for that. Morning, Superman and family from Brendan. Good to see Brendan in the house, and of course a big shout out to Brendan. Brendan's just joined our moderator team in our Discord. So a big shout out to Brendan and welcome to the team. Brendan does awesome stuff, so everyone appreciates Brendan for sure. Yes, Dave, 1 day closer. We are 1 day closer to Pulsechain Mainnet. And of course, V4 in the road there before that. I just wonder, I wonder whether they're going to go for a post-Shanghai block. Let's see what they do. That'd be interesting. Obviously, the sneak peek was already, and the private testnet was, pre-Shanghai. Looked like it was what did I say, the 30th of January, something like that. We'll see. We'll see what they end up doing. They may have delayed it for that. Maybe. We will see. We are speculating there. Charles in the house. Hey, Charles, Superman. Woo! Hey, good to see Charles, Hex Token channel member as well. Represent. And, of course, Joey Torres as well. Hi, all. Joey, good to see you as well. Harry Williams. Yo. Good to see Harry. And, of course, morning Hex Token from Tom Boss. Good to see Tom Boss. How you all been? Hex Token, good to see you, mate. Hey, good to see you, Charles. Looks like a nice beach shot in the profile. Can't quite see it, but I think it's a beach shot. Hardy Hex Lorian as well. In the Hex house. Hey, good to see you, Hardy Hex. We are in the Hex house. We are definitely a Hex Maxi channel. And, of course, the title of the video, Hex Crypto up 5x before Pulsechain Mainnet. And, of course, be early. People like paying higher prices. So don't get caught out is the general rule. But we're going to talk more about that when we get up to the Hex price. Stay tuned for that. Thanks. Thanks, Superman. Woo, says Brennan. Yeah, welcome to the team, man. It's an honor and a pleasure. And of course, Mixed. Hello, Super and family. Good to see you, Mixed. Who else there? Hardy Hex Lorian says, just waiting for a Hex run right now. Now, more 3 to 8 cents dancing. Yeah, I actually haven't looked at the price. I think we were just under 7 cents earlier. We got down to 6.8 cents on the pullback. So Bitcoin slipped back under 30K, but we'll talk more about that later on as well. Pudding Guru, g'day from Queensland. Beautiful Sunshine Coast. G'day, as we say down under. So good to see you, Pudding Guru. Very, very nice indeed. All right, shall we get into it, folks? Let's start. We've got 36 people in the house at the moment, and we're going to kick into gear. So let's bring it up. Pulsechain Testnet V3 is running at the moment, and here it is. And I just realized we've got to get everything up and running. Bam, there we go. Now, I actually saw the average block time was over 11 seconds. Put up your hand if you saw that earlier. That was up before the live stream. I saw that 11 seconds. It snuck down back to 10.4. Remember, the target speed is 10-second block times. And so forth. If I got that on Zoom, I think I have. Yeah, so we've got 53.5 million wallets, let's say, at the moment. So it's slowly creeping up there. Still indexing pre-Pulsechain fork data. So it's still continuing. And we're ticking along there. Now, the transactions for the 15th, we had 40,000. But we lifted up on the 16th of April. We got 42,828. So I might zoom on that now. You can see that at the top there. So that's ticking along pretty nicely. And no reason to see when mainnet goes live, I'm expecting to see millions of transactions, to be honest. I think it'll be hundreds of thousands and millions, that sort of time frame, but I'm actually pretty bullish that we'll see some pretty large number of transactions on the Pulsechain blockchain, and it might shock people to the upside there, but the amount of transactions we will see. Now, we're just ticking along, of course. Let's have a look at a few little snapshots. You know how I like to look at the transactions. Transactions are like the lifeblood of the chain, and gives you sort of maybe a bit of an ad hoc health check. We've got a lot of PLX going through. We've got some Zen crypto going through. So far, we've seen Zen and PulseX definitely being killer dApps on the chain at the moment. We have seen a few new projects launch on there and transactions. We have seen a couple of those recently. A lot of the big utility projects probably waiting, as we say, for V4 is my guess. That's the reason why I don't think we've seen them all yet. We've got Geni on there. I'm not a big fan of Geni, but Geni's on there. Let me know if you're in Geni in the video description. We got lots of harvesting of incentive tokens, but people love it. So you guys, I said incentive token, I believe will do very, very well indeed. And what the rationale for that is that it's sort of self-fulfilling. We got people provide liquidity. They want to get the incentive token as part of the rewards. Speculators know that liquidity providers want to get the incentive token as part of the rewards, so they speculate on it as well. And then, of course, we also have an incentive reward for incentive tokens if you're providing liquidity. So that's also an incentive. And we're likely to see, lots of sort of staking elements and other elements in that as well. So pretty cool. So I do think that that's going to perform pretty well. Richard kind of says, it's just a tag on, but I think it will probably do pretty well. So that's kind of cool. Let's see here. What else? So that is the first page. So that's sort of the projects we've got going on there. So ticking along pretty nicely is testnet V3, but we are waiting for testnet V4. And let's go to the GitLab and see what the team has been doing. They've been logging in for work, so we're going to have a check of that. We've got 3 commas in on the 17th, Brett Paulson on the 17th, Gamma on the 17th, and Kyle Barr on the 17th. Now, Kyle hasn't been in for a couple of days, so Kyle's in the house, Pulsechain. That's pretty cool. Last day that Richard was in it was the 16th of April. So obviously the team is working hard to get the V4 across the line there, and so forth. April the 17th has got SJB. Now, we've got activity. Let's have a look at the activity. We've got some push events here. The last push events, of course, we had compatibility to the Shanghai fork with the V004 for the Aragon Pulse there. So that's kind of bullish there, right? And add support for testnet V4. So that was updated about a week ago. So that was bullish. So maybe they're taking extra time. Maybe they will give us a post-Shanghai block. And, of course, that would allow pulse withdrawals. It just seems the most sense to me. But, hey, look, I don't know whether they're just going to decide to do that as later on. Yeah, it just seems like, I'd rather them take a little bit longer time and get that capability. Because it's a competitive advantage, like you're changing the inflation to make it competitive with the validators on Pulse on Ethereum, and so why wouldn't you also make a Pulse withdrawal so that you have more confidence? Because we did see quite a bit of ETH, even though we saw quite big withdrawals on Ethereum, we saw quite a bit of ETH coming into Ethereum as well. We might talk about that later on, so stay tuned for that after the Shanghai Shapala upgrade. So that's ticking along pretty nicely on Pulsechain. Let's go have a look at PulseX. Let's do a little refresh of PulseX here. We've got 3 commas capital here on the 17th, Agris on the 17th, Brett Paulson on the 17th, Hines on the 17th. So you can see they're all working pretty hard, right? So they're trying to get this over the line. Kyle Barr in there on the 17th, Cut Lucas on the 17th, April on the 16th. Man, the whole team's in there. It's a team effort. So that's the most busiest we've seen it. So they're ramping up. You can definitely tell everyone logging in so strongly. That's pretty cool. So cool. So yeah, a good chance this week, I guess, flowing in from last week. So kind of cool. So that is the Pulsechain updates that I'm aware of. So let's jump over to PulseX. PulseX on testnet V3 ticking along there. We've got Pulse. One Pulse is worth 2.75 PulseX at the moment on the testnet. Remember, it's just a testnet, but we have seen similar numbers on all the testnets, haven't we, in this range. So no surprises there. You can see over the last month there, we had initially launched at almost 5 to 1, but pretty much has been sitting around this, high twos. So there we are. That's it. The farms, of course, we've had a few farms added. We had the DAI Pulse farm added. We had the incentive PLS farm added. So now that you've got incentive having its own rewards as well, you can see that locks away more incentive token, and incentive token is going to be like a deflationary profile. We don't know if it's a step down or a sort of a curve or so, but yeah, that's definitely the case. At least I'm not aware that we know of that in any code or anything. So anyway, we've got the incentive PLX as well. That got added as well. So we've got those 4 pools there. Pretty telling about which pools got set up, I guess. There's a bit of a Blue's Clues to what may do well as well. Also get supported. So pretty cool. All Richard Hart tokens and DAI, and that's pretty much it. So very nice. Now I've got rewards in there. So $143. That's going pretty good. And I've got $175 in this one here. I won't harvest them today. I harvested them yesterday at live stream, but I'll just leave that today. And of course, we've got the burn. Let's have a look at the volumes. Actually, let's go have a look at the volumes on the testnet. We've got 1.58 billion on the 17th. So that is the volume, and pretty similar days. Has been increasing slowly every day. So that's good to see. If you're not practicing on PulseX, get yourself familiar. All the links in the video description. They're also in our useful links on Discord. So definitely play around. But people have been increasing the volumes on that. It's kind of nice to see. And you can see some of the top ones here. So Pulse is sitting at 2.9 cents, just under 3 cents. And we've got Hex at $5 on the testnet there. Very nice, very nice. And of course, we've got PulseX there at 1 cent, and that's pretty cool. Like I said, if PulseX was at 1 cent in the real mainnet, then obviously, and none of the top people that had 100 million PulseX sold, then there'd be 11,000 millionaires. How about that? I think if I remember my numbers rightly, there'd be 18 billionaires as well. So bullish there. We'll see. Sticker guy still must be playing around with his sticker win token because it's got almost a $1.2 million price here. So that's hilarious. They keep playing around with that. And incentive token showing up $1,365, which is pretty crazy. But it's going to be interesting to see what that's priced at when it does go live. So yeah, some cool stuff here. That is pretty much that on that. Let's jump over to the burn, since we've had we had 1.58 billion on the volume. Let's see what the burn is, and see how we're going on that. 8.78 billion has been burned so far. PulseX burned so far, which is going to be, people are going to be talking about that all the time, right? The PulseX burn, that's going to be a big deal. And how the volumes go and how the burn goes is definitely going to attract a lot of attention, particularly around the valuation. But we're going to have a lot of supply sinks, right? And this is the big thing. So you got to keep an eye on all the supply sinks and to see where the value is going, not just the price chart, because they sort of work together, but you want to keep an eye on the fundamentals, right? So yeah, the burn, the turnover, new projects coming on, projects that get popular, that burn a lot. And of course, that's going to burn a lot on PulseChain as well. So very, very important there. We've still got this big carrot sitting in front of us. We can't claim it for the bounty, but yeah, that's still looking there pretty good. I'm trying to see this one here. It's got a little bit of bounty. What's the bounty on that one? $77 value, 6 cent bounty on the $77 value. There we are. So you know, you feel free to claim that, Brendan, if you want to front run me. But that's pretty much it. So that is PulseX, and obviously the bridge is out there as well. You can play with the bridge between the Sepelia Ethereum test network and the PulseChain testnet V3. But V4 is coming around the corner sooner than later. Hopefully, we'll see it soon. Now, Richard did post this. This was on the 16th of April. As the last update he had. What's that, about 2 days ago? And that was that PulseChain V4 testnet is up privately and waiting for the AMM bot. So that's the automatic market maker bot. And the PulseX to be run deployed. Now, the AMM bot, from my point of view, is one of the financial engines that Richard's putting in to prop up the value of the chain that others don't have. So that's going to be super, super important. And obviously, PulseX there to be run, and we've just gone through that on the testnet V3, and that's going to make it seamless to prop up the value of not only of all the projects going on PulseChain, and that will be copied over and operated on PulseChain, but also obviously the gold and crypto, the Richard Hart tokens. All roads lead to the Richard Hart tokens. So it's going to be awesome. The big buy and burn, everything else that's going to be set up for it as well. Liquidity pools and stuff like that. So very, very cool. And if you remember, if your experience on ETH Power or ETH Fair was anything to go by, man, oh man, you won't have any of those issues. Isn't that beautiful? and it's going to be really just that ease of use is going to be absolutely incredible with clear liquidity pools set up and trading and stuff like that. None of this stuff, man. It's you have to spend a bit of time just to get yourself safely on and off those two chains. So there we are. But no problems here. So it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so that is the last update. That's had how many views? 364,000 views. So it's not too bad either with an update like that. Let's jump over to some of the crypto, some of the Pulsechain news. How to Pulse got a little interesting notice out today, and it was big announcement. Pulsechain community. We have a massive event coming up that you don't want to miss. Here's a hint: promote your favorite project on Pulsechain in a fruitful way. And I know a lot of you like to promote your favorite project because you put them in the chats all the time. So here we are. You get an opportunity to do it where you're invited. Jokes aside, stay tuned for a big reveal. We're beyond excited to share it with you. So that's pretty cool in that tweet. I'll post that tweet in the chat there just in case you want to check it out. So let's push that in there. Guys, show them some support. Now, they're doing one of the big marketplaces. I think they've got a sacrifice on at the moment as well, if I remember rightly. That is How to Pulse. They've done a lot of education online stuff for the Pulsechain Hex community. So they're obviously a big deal there. Walrus was out of the team. I think he's still in the team, but he's moved obviously to Liquid Loans as their sort of PR marketing person. So that is How to Pulse. So definitely check that out. Throw some support behind that. So that is kind of big news. We wait to see what that's all about, but kind of cool. Promote your favorite project on Pulsechain in a fruitful way. We're beyond excited to share it with you. So obviously a pretty good idea. We'll look forward to it. I can't say much more about that. So that's kind of cool. That is our Pulsechain update. We're going to get into obviously the markets next. So stay tuned for all that. Let me just remove that and let's move on to that one. Let me just jump out of because changing some of these here. And let me get rid of that. And I think that's what we're up to. Cool. All right. Let's have a look at some of the comments in the chat as well. Who else is in the house? Where we go up to here? We got up to mixed, I'm pretty sure. Hard Hex Launch says just waiting for Hex to run. Now more than 78 cents. Got up to that too. Let's jump through some of those comments. Brennan says Richard's been quiet this week. His tweet, something is coming. Yes, indeed. I believe so. Yeah, this week's probably looking good. You heard my speculations before. We'll see what happens. Charles Stone says, I really can't imagine they would fork stake that from January. I could see any tokens since V3 was the last testnet. But yeah, well, it was 26th, and the little private testnet looked like the 30th based on the blockchain, the block that was up there. But not necessarily that was the start block, but it was definitely indicative. But yeah, I'd like to see a post Shanghai upgrade like fork. That'd be really cool. Because then you've got at least you got the basic proof of stake system up, right? And then yeah, we'll see what they do. What's up, Hexagons? Good to see you, Tintop. LFG, let's leave all the dumpers behind. And Rex says QQ, indeed. Brendan says I was watching K4K video recently, and he seems to think we could get a launch price of 10.50 cents for incentive token based on a 31.5 million supply. Says Brennan. Nice little insight there. Thanks, Brennan. And what else? Let's get into it. Let's get into the markets. Let's have a look at what's going on. So we've got here the stock market. The Dow rides banks to close higher, struggling off Google wobble. So nice there move on the banks. Let's have a look at the markets. So Dow Jones, the top 30 industrials, up 1/3%, 100 points to 33,987. Hopefully we'll get back over that 94,000 mark. The S&P 500 up 1/3 of a percent as well, and that's up 13.68 points to 4,151. The tech companies are all in the Nasdaq. That's up almost 1/3%, and that is 34 points to 12,157. So they're all holding up pretty well there. Now the S&P 500 volatile index, the VIX there, is down a little bit there, so that's kind of good news too. The US dollar is up 0.5% to a 101.81 versus trading partners holding over 100, which is pretty interesting. And of course, if you're in commodities, you're waiting for a Fed pivot, so the US dollar will tank. So that's what you're waiting for there. We got Brent oil there is at West Texas is flat at $80.84. Brent oil there down 1.7% at $84.86. and I don't think many people are expecting these prices to go much lower than their range. So that could be interesting, even with the recession talks that other countries are looking to fill up the demand. OPEC's pulled back supply, and of course summer is coming in the US. So we'll see what happens there. But I tend to think that this may be near the bottom of the prices. We will see. Maybe they'll go a bit lower. Maybe possibly down to 75. We'll see. But that's kind of where that is at the moment. Gold is pretty flat after having a tear to all-time highs. Gold at $2,007 there. And let's have a look at the last month. We can see that gold sort of peaked up around $2,060 or give or take. So nice. Silver there as well is up at $25, which is not a bad move either. And that got up as high as $26.20. And I know quite a few people into silver and gold. I know Randy Alaski's into the commodities. So it's always good, possibly, depending on the size of your portfolio, to have a bit of commodities in your portfolio. I know we're crypto specialists. We love crypto because the bigger gains and all that. But if you're having a bit of risk, you always got to have some risk protection in your policy in your portfolio. So if you can afford it, it's always good to get some of those as well. Now, if the Fed pivots and the US dollar tanks, these are all going to go up in price, is most likely the case there quite dramatically. And we know that Kiyosaki is talking about silver having that 5 to 25x some time back. And of course, the only way that's going to happen is if the Fed pivots and the US dollar, dramatically falls versus trading partners and so forth. So that's kind of where that is. The Dow closed higher Monday, struggling off a Google-led wobble in tech as banks racked up gains and mostly upbeat quarterly earnings. So that's kind of cool, quarterly earnings. Now, I expect the quarterly earnings to decline in the next 6 months. This is where I expect us to get a lot more hurt in the quarterlies there. And that will be, partly subject to how good the management is as well at, adapting their company to higher inflation, supply issues and other things like that, reduced demand, things like that. So financials, meanwhile, gained more than 1% as banks stocks continue to roll out mostly upbeat quarterly results. So it's kind of cool news. It's pushing off the bad news to a bit later, and that's kind of cool for us. It's kind of cool for crypto. Charles Schwab, rose almost 4% after reporting mixed first quarterly results as earnings beat, but revenue fell short of expectations. The brokerage company also reported a drop in deposits and said it was pausing its share buyback program. M&T Bank rallied more than 7% as its quarterly results bet on both the top and bottom lines, while State Street Corp fell 9% after its first quarter results fell short of estimates. 2% slip in Alphabet, the tech company, stifled upside momentum on reports that Samsung is mulling ditching Google's search for Microsoft's Bing as the default search engine in its devices. That's an interesting move. Threatening about $3 billion in annual revenue. Apple also closed just above the flat line as the tech giant announced that it would launch a savings account for Apple Card users. Netflix slipped more than 1% ahead of its quarterly results on Tuesday after marking close, with some on Wall Street keen for updates on the streaming giant's crackdown on password sharing. And of course, we would be keen on the highest of stakes to see some news. News about highest of stakes saves Netflix. Profits up 200%. We'd love to see that. It's going to be a cool headline, right? We believe that key debate into printing is the impact of sharing the growth. We continue to believe password sharing restrictions could provide an uplift to revenue. So I'm not completely familiar what that's referring to, but if you're on Netflix, so you will know. Sentiment on growth corners of the market includes tech was also weighed down by jump in treasury yields amid growing fears about further federal rate hikes. We continue to expect a 25 basis point rate hike at the May FOMC meeting. And of course, I agree with that. It seems like what we get. Hopefully it's the terminal rate because it's kind of where we're leading, but there are a few aggressive presidents in the Fed. Adding that an unexpected pause from the Fed would likely be driven by concern over the banking system and credit. And they have, to some degree, they've dealt with that for the time being. But we will see, if there's any more cascading issues in banking, then maybe they'll have to, reduce potentially as well. The odds of a 25 basis points rate hike at Feb's May meeting is nearly priced in to the market. So I would agree with that too. So that is kind of the highlights there. Let's have a look at the Fed. So the Fed meeting is 2 weeks and 1 day away in 18 hours. So that's the Fed on the 3rd of May. Put that in your calendars. That's so we have a window of opportunity in the markets up to that point, right? And of course, 90% of the market now is pricing in. 90% of the market is pricing in a 5 to 5.25 federal funds rate. So that's another 25 basis points. Only 10% of the market is pricing in a no change. And that's this. Hopefully, this will be our pivot. This will be our terminal rate pivot at 5 to 5.25. So that would be pretty cool. Let's have a look at June, the following one. Yeah, we've only got 20% of people thinking that we're going to get another 25 basis points at the moment, but this can change around a lot, inside a couple of weeks. But that is where we are at this stage. So kind of cool there. So that is the Fed and the stock markets. So we have a window of opportunity for crypto. We're going to talk about that now. And let's see where the markets are. Have I got this zoomed in? Have I? I have. So the markets here, market cap 1.3 trillion is the global market cap for crypto. Up down 2% there after Bitcoin got sold off a little bit overnight. And BTC dominance 42.57%, $75 billion in volume. So I think 2 days ago we have 100 billion. Yesterday we had about 50 something billion. Today seems like we got 75 if I remember rightly in the volumes. Looking at the leaders here, let's zoom in on this. The leaders here, Bitcoin down below 30,000, a little bit ominous, but hey, down 1.5% to 29,474. And Ethereum there down 0.5% to $2,076. Still holding up pretty well over 2,000 though. That's a more bullish sign for Ethereum. Binance Coin down 1% on $340. XRP down 1/3% to 51 cents. Cardano down 1.8% to 43 cents. Hex down 7.24%, sitting at 6.97 cents at the moment. So just under 7 cents is Hex, but down 11.7% for the 7 days. And obviously with the delay of V4, because we were supposed to have it last week, that just wanes on the sentiment a little bit, doesn't it? But it's always an opportunity, right? So it's an opportunity to pick up more. And I'm talking about potentially, Hex crypto price 5x before mainnet. Now that's kind of the top end of the probable rise, but it can go higher than that. So that's just where we're heading now. We're going to talk more about that. Okay, B there is down 0.2%, $52.50, and that's our top 10 with Lido at number 10 there. Lido Ethereum staking. So that's the markets. Let's jump into the news for crypto. SEC sues Bittrex crypto exchange and former CEO. So the CEO the SEC still doing its punitive punishing approach to crypto. It's not friends with anybody. It's just going through with the hatchet and hatcheting everything up. And meanwhile, they're friends with the CDCs and all their other mates. These guys have meetings all the time. They collude all the time. I've seen this behavior firsthand. And this is the stuff that happens. They just live in la la land and make the world a worse place. But anyway, SEC sues Bittrex crypto exchange and former CEO. Regulators allege the company listed assets that require it to register and follow investor protection rules. I have no problem with if this is a legitimate case where they're trying to get terms of service have been breached. I have no problems with that. Obviously, that's protect the consumer protection. So if that is the case, then that's all good. So that was with Bittrex. Obviously, if you've used Bittrex before, you would be a little bit curious about that. So you can check that out. That's under a paywall, so we're not going to be reading that one. Now, the other big news, of course, is the Shanghai upgrade. And of course, it led to influx of ETH at exchanges. Ethereum's seamless implementation of withdrawals, also known as the Shanghai upgrade, on April the 12th, led ETH's price to over to $2,100, highest level since May 2022, which is pretty awesome, right? And crypto exchange received a net inflow of 180,000 ETH, which is kind of cool, worth some 375 million in the 4 days after the Ethereum Shanghai upgrade went live. Isn't that cool? According to the crypto data from CryptoQuant. CryptoQuant data shows that the traders deposited 1.1 million ETH to exchange between April the 13th and April the 16th, while only removing 921,000 tokens. This was the largest 4-day net inflow in a month. So bullish news here, and I think it's been pretty successful. Investors transferring tokens to exchanges usually indicate they're preparing to sell, which may lead to a price decline. That was the background there. On April the 12th, Ethereum successfully implemented the long-awaited tech upgrade, also known as the Shanghai. The upgrade has enabled withdrawals for the first time for the Ethereum proof of stake, and the blockchain, which has some 18 million ETH worth, 36 billion locked in staking contracts. Before the upgrade, crypto watchers worried that the event would flood the market with millions of unlocked ETH and crash the second largest cryptocurrency's price although others predicted little impact on that price and that the price would rise, and that was what I said too. So I was in a bullish scenario. It could just make sense, right? Ethereum withdrawals, a bullish thing, it seems to me. Now, obviously, some people got some profits and been locked in there for quite a bit of time, so there's always going to be some selling, but I think that was kind of the better scenario. News of a seamless imitation pushed ETH price above $2,100 the day following, its highest level since May 2022. ETH outperformed Bitcoin in that 24-hour period. ETH was recently trading at about $2,070, down more than 2% in the past 24 hours. Data suggests that some traders have sold ETH during the price rally post-Shanghai. No problem with that. So that is kind of generally good news. Let's go to the Beacon Explorer and have a quick look at that. And we can actually go to the validators and have a look. This is on Ethereum we're looking at, and have a look at the ETH withdrawals. So we've had 560,000 withdrawals processed and 1,062,000 ETH redistributed. So that's kind of cool. And you can see we had a little bit on the 12th there, 18,000. Then on the 13th, we had 202,000. And then we had 100,000 on the 14th. We had 392,000 ETH withdrawed on the 15th. That was on Saturday. On Sunday, we had 280,000 ETH withdrawed on Sunday. And then back to Monday, we're back down to 65,000 on April, which I guess is probably not finished yet. So that is the path of withdrawing. Now let's have a look at the total amount that's actually still staking. So yeah, it's not really much change. Probably inflows as well. 17.9 million ETH. And as I say, if we get up to, this is around about 14% of the total ETH of 120.5 million. If we head towards the average of EVM chains, it's like 40%. So we could over time, or maybe over the next 6 to 9 months, we could see quite a bit of inflow into validating with the bigger money, the bigger institutions going, yeah, we're ready. They don't necessarily do it straight away. They sort of ramp up their confidence with the validating. And so keep watching that over the next 3, 6, 9 months. We're currently at about 18 million ETH there with the validators. Going to be pretty interesting with 561,655 validators. So kind of cool there. All right, so that is pretty much a wrap up of the crypto news. All right, I've got this cool picture here. We're going to remove this, catch up with the comments. We've got Charles says, me too, Hex Token. Nice. We've got Spike in the house there. What's up? What's up? Says Spike. T-Hex as well with the rocket bags. Yo is in the house from Detached Soul. And woohoo, Astrian as well. Great to see all of you in the chat there, by the way. Yeah, so we're going to get into the Hex price. We're only 33 minutes on the hour. Man, I've been moving along like a boss, man. I hope I'm not going too fast. But this is the way we roll. Sharp you all. Check my pulse in the house as well. All right, so yeah, the title of the video is Hex crypto price up 5x before Pulsechain Mainnet. Now, I definitely see a 3x on the sort of the lower side, 5x on sort of the medium upside. If we're saying we're 7 cents now, we're talking about maybe 21 cents to 36 cents, somewhere in that ballpark. And of course, there's definitely a possibility for a higher price depending on the way Richard launches the Pulsechain Mainnet, but I think that's pretty reasonable. And I definitely feel that 7 cents to 21 cents is quite doable. So it's just kind of getting that probability in play. And definitely with any pullback in Hex at the moment, it's kind of a bit like a godsend, right? You can pick up a lot more volume. So some people are playing for that, so that's why they don't buy, and they want to pick up. If they know the price does go down, 6.8 cents like it did overnight, then they pick up a lot more volume of Hex, and they got a lot more upside potential. But that's kind of the logic there. So pretty cool. We got this little meme I saw on Twitter, and of course this got here. I love seeing people smile at their phones in public. And of course, have they received happy news? Is it a text from a loved one, perhaps? And then it's got what could be instilling so much joy at that moment. And then it's like the Hex chart there, Hex USDC, which is pretty cool. So that could be a future apparition there. And of course, yeah, potentially some big X returns there as well. Good dollar cost averaging, a good picking off the lows in the chart is a good way to go. Pulsechain V4 is coming, testnet, and of course mainnet then as well. Hex is a proxy for Pulsechain at the moment, so definitely well worth considering. So there we are. That was a cool lead into to that. Now the other thing I wanted to play was an old video from Richard as well. Let me pull that in as a bit of inspiration. This was in the lead up to Hex 10,000X, if I remember rightly. So let's pull this in because it's always good to hear a bit from Richard Hart since he's not at the castle from the looks of it. Now we've got to make sure I'm fine to the right place here. There where did I put the video? Is this the one here? Maybe this one. Let's do this. Bam.
4,000 gains, 4,000x gains was a lot in 600 days. Soon it's going to be past 10,000. And I remember when I made the Hex website and I said, you know, this was designed to do a 10,000x return in a year and a half or 2.5 years. Everyone said it was a scam. It was impossible. How dare you design something with the intention of becoming valuable? Well, that's what business is. By design, business is the creation of value for shareholders. So every business is trying to create and accrue value. And I'm honest and open about it. And I said, I want to design the highest appreciating asset that's ever existed. And then we did it, and it's working. And I think we'll be past 10,000x very soon. And then will I hear apologies from all those people that said evil things about me? Let me tell you the difference between me and everyone else in cryptocurrency. I'm a self-help author that gives away free books to try and make your life better. I give away free videos with the ads turned off on YouTube. They're not allowed to show ads on my videos. Who else is doing that in cryptocurrency? I tell you to stop drinking, stop trading, you know, call your mom. I tell you to live a good, wholesome life. And who else in crypto is doing that? Everyone else in crypto wants to see you get wrecked margin trading. That's the only revenue they have. So, you know, it's a self-help author doing everything for free, giving you free coins, free books, free videos, free advice, living the dream, just raised $27 million for charity. Has anyone else in cryptocurrency raised $27 million charity that wasn't me? No, it's just me. I'm the best person in cryptocurrency. And I'm working my way up to maybe be the best in the world, but it's going to take a while. There's a lot of people out there.
So I really like that. It's a bit of old classic Richard art there, as Hex did lead up to 10,000x after that. And of course, all the cool things he's been doing for the crypto. And of course, he's arguably got his biggest thing coming up, which is the Pulsechain Mainnet, and of course, PulseX, and all the cool things that are in that is going to be pretty awesome. So looking forward to it. More people are life's going to be changed with that. So particularly based on your decisions, you have to make the certain decisions, but it's going to be pretty exciting for sure. We've got InvestX in the house there. Good evening, all. The UK tuned in. Hey, InvestX, always good to see you. And of course, if you haven't checked out InvestX, go check it out. Really amazing platform, and they've got lots of things coming down the pipeline. So definitely check out InvestX there. Right, let's pull up another video of Richard, because I really do. Let's have a little bit of a binge on Richard, a couple of little short videos of Richard, because it's kind of always good to get a bit of flavor, Hex flavor. Now, no, I'm not. That's too long, that one. I can't play that one. Let me just pick up this one. I can't even remember what these ones are, so you'll have to bear with me because I can't remember what they are, but let's play a few of these.
Light the candles. I'll light these candles at $1 on Hex. That's the next time I'm lighting. Yeah. Light the candle.
So you can't get more bullish than that, right? So next time he's going to light the candles is that $1 Hex, $1 Hex. So here I'm talking about on this video today, 5X before Pulsechain. That just depends on the way he launches Pulsechain too. But man, oh man, that's pre-Pulsechain launch prediction. But man, oh man, is that crazy or what? You know, $1 Hex, and of course it can go well beyond that under the right circumstances. But definitely heading on into the upside for sure.
Candles. I'll light these candles at $1 on Hex. That's the next time I'm lighting.
All right, so I think I've got another short video here too, which is pretty cool. Let me just make sure to pull this up. Let me see where that is. And I played that one. That's got a particular context, that video, so I'll leave that one. Those two videos pretty inspiring. You know, hitting 4,000x up to 10,000x at 10,000x. The second video there, you know, I'll light the candles at $1. You gotta love it. You gotta love it, right? So pretty cool on that. All right, there's another video with even higher price predictions from Richard, but we'll leave that one out because I haven't got it sitting here, so that's the way it goes. All right, cool. Let's get into the updates here, because I've actually lost my screenshot. Bam, let's get into it. All right, so Hex price at the moment. Let's go for gold, and we've got Hex here at 6.9 cents. So nice little pullback here. And of course, you can pick up more Hex, just that way it goes. And of course, Pulsechain V3 is coming ahead of us. And then we've got Mainnet probably after that. This seems the most likely scenario. So cool. Particularly if we've got the Shanghai fork up there. That's the only wild card thing that I'd like to see some stuff up on that. But in this case, we'll wait and see. We've got obviously chart holding up pretty well here. We did get down as low yesterday at 6.81 cents. And of course, we've got a new candle here, which has only been going for 10 minutes. This 10 minutes, this candle. whereas that's 24 hours is on the daily. We've got the 200 EMA running at 5.8 cents. So it's kind of cool. And we did have some resistance at this price level before. Looking back further, we also had it back here where we had it up at about 6.8 cents as well. So that's been quite a good resistance and support level. A resistance there. So at the moment, it's kind of in support there. So good. Hopefully it holds it. It'd be nice to hold that leading into V4 main and testnet there. That's kind of the upside. Now on the downside, of course, you're probably looking at 5.8 to 6 cents if it does go down. That seems a reasonable position there. We've got a bit here there. Yeah, so 5.8 to 6% on the downside scenario. On the upside scenario, of course, anything's possible with the V4 alert there as well. Some of the traders might kick into gear also, so we'll be watching that. We've got the EMA, 20 EMA there at 7.5, the 50 EMA at 7.3. So we've got those averages there that we could go back to as well to test. Down 9.5% on the 24-hour. Buys, 327 buys. So it's 61% of buys are trades. But the sell volume on the bigger side, 1.7 million, 57% versus 1.3 million on the buy side. We've got 8.9 million in liquidity. And so we dropped in back below that 9 million. But any dip, of course, is an opportunity. And of course, like I say, potentially, 5x quite easily is probably in the play. Definitely a 3x on the board. 21 cents from here would be quite reasonable. All right, let's go into the whale bot here. 22 hours ago, 37 million hex burned for 1 year. So that's really bullish. 680 T-shares. That's more hex off the market for a whole another year. And of course, that's a win-win for them. Pretty cool as well. Yeah, so if they'd done a 555, it would have been 2.4x of how many they got. But obviously, there's time opportunities for that. So pretty cool. Yeah, Jack Nicholson. So pretty cool. What else do we have there? Oh, scroll back down here. We had 16.5 million hex burned for 1,440 days. Woohoo! Like a boss, 1,100 T-shares. That's a lot of hex off the market. Look at that, between the two of them, 50 million hex. So it's pretty decent off the market there as well. So kind of cool. Yes, that's a good way. I like that. That's very, very funny. All right, so that's some cool stuff. They're on the Hex Whale. And let's jump over to Hedron. Hedron at the moment is at 2429. So obviously similar to Hex there. And of course, pulling probably back down with the BTC trigger when BTC triggered below 30K. We had yesterday, the low on Hedron was 2337. The high was 2673. Can you believe it? That's quite a bit of a range yesterday. Today, of course, we're at 2429. And I do see that some people are distributing little Hedron and Ikosa strategies out there. So that's the case too. Sounds like we've got some crazy machine out the back outside here. So I do apologize for the noise because it's a pretty noisy machine. I don't even know what it is, but it's pretty noisy. Just started up just now. Thank you very much. So we have 2.4 under there. The price is down 9%. Pretty similar to Hex, right? So Hex was down 9.5%. Hedron down a pretty similar amount, 9%. We got 40 buy trades, but the sells are 51 sells, 57% of the sell volume. The sell volume is 65% at 328K versus buy at 178K. We've got 907,000 liquidity in there in the pool there for Hedron. The RSI there sitting at 46. And the sellers for the first time, OMG, really? The first time there, we've got the buyers and sellers clashing. The buyers have dominated. Look at the buyers dominating for so long. They've been dominating since the beginning of the year on Hedron. The buyers on the DMI. Isn't that crazy? Been buying there with quite a few confirmed trends in there as well. They're clashing here at the moment. So all that time, let's see. Are the buyers going to bounce off here and reject the sellers? We will see. But that's on the DMI. Pretty interesting that came up there. That's pretty cool. All right. So let's jump over to Ikosa quickly. Have a look at Ikosa. And of course, let me look there. Bam. What do we got there? 68 cents on Ikosa. Ikosa's holding up pretty well, actually. So down 5.8%, but it's actually holding up pretty well, I think, at 68 cents. So not too bad there either. 22 buys versus 13 sells. And the volume, 51% buy volume. So it's just slightly better there, 24 hours. So way to go. All right, let's look at the auctions because I have to switch over to Ethereum to do that. So how many have we got in here? We've got 2,753 in the liquidation queue. I'm not sure why that number's moving around so volatile, but that's where it is. We've got 13 in the auction house at the moment. Now, after the live stream, obviously, more auctions can flow into this auction house, so you can keep tabs on that. Look into Hedron and hexmodel.com are two main resources for this if you want to get yourself educated and get good value. So check that out. What do we got here? So we've got 1.8 T shares there, 3.9 T shares there. So those are the two big ones, couple of small B shares. And they're ticking away during today. So what's that? 1.8 T shares there, currently bid with 166 million Hedron. So I was watching a few of these bids yesterday, these auctions yesterday, but they kept on getting outbid of each other. They're outbidding like small amounts. It's just like, man, you have to have patience if you want to pick up some good deals. But people have been getting some really good deals, like 60% discounts, 65. Sometimes I've seen some bizarre ones, seen some almost like seems like 99%. Discounts, some crazy stuff on the T shares. So a good place to pick up some pickings, particularly if you, depending on your strategy you want to do. So kind of cool. All right, let's jump over to the Wattses. Dev Huey said 14 Watts of NFTs are burned in the last 24 hours. That's 5,931 endpoints. And of course, we're down to 21,290 Watts of NFTs are left now. I know that Wookie is our grand master of this. So he'll be looking at this pretty closely. But that's pretty cool from Dev Huey. Now, Dev Huey did have something else that he was putting here. Subscribe and follow. Great analysis of Ikosa and Hedron here from a Prairie Banana. So I don't know this person myself, but they've got a video on YouTube. So I'm going to do just let you know, if you're following Hedron and Ikosa that closely, I'm going to post that in the chat there. Go have a watch and see whether it's insightful. Maybe it'll offer you some insights there. I have not seen it myself, so I'm just doing a random post there, Do your own research, not financial advice, all that good stuff. All right, let's see who else has jumped in here. We've got some more people in the house. So that is the updates there. We've got the Hex daily stats. We're going to talk about that. We've got day 1232. That's what we're waiting for at the moment. In the meantime, we're going to go back to the Hex chart, get rid of all those, and what we're doing here. We're going to the 15-minute chart. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's auto log that. Bam. All right, that is our 15-minute chart. Who else has jumped in here? Bulletfish King says, I miss RH streams. Yeah, I wonder if he'll start doing some more once Pulsechain is launched. It'll be interesting, at least for a couple of months. It'll be nice for him to do that. I'm sure he's going to do something, I'm sure. I wonder how his museum is going. The Richard Hart Museum is going as well. That's not something else of interest. 1 million times 1 million X is $50, says Brennan. I like where you're heading there, Brennan. $50. Wookie's in the house there. Wookie has tiptoed into the chat. You got to remember that for Hex, when Pulsechain launches, the whole Pulsechain is an economic engine for Hex. So it's one way of looking at Pulsechain as well. DB Cooper says, dear sir, when? On 1 day closer, DB, 1 day. V4 probably this week is my guess, given it it's flowed missed last week. Hello, Hex Token, everybody. Just popping in to say hello. Busy day tomorrow. Hey, Sandy Beach. We all wish you the best with your upcoming event happening. So looking forward to the good news about that, Sandy Beach. And definitely our prayers are with you there, Sandy Beach. So all the best on that one. We got Charles Stone in there. Machines. Hey, look, I don't know if you guys saw Elon Musk was on Tucker. I haven't seen the videos yet, but he's got some pretty interesting comments to say about a lot of different things out in the world, like AI and stuff like that. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. It should be entertaining. Thankfully, we can't hear them. Oh, good. That's good. Yeah, it's really noisy here, man. It's probably because hopefully my microphone's dampening down the noise because it was really horrible. But yeah, fortunately, it's backed off a little bit into the distance. What else there? QQ's in the house says, nothing puts a smile on my face better than a big green candle. Yeah, let's see if we can get a Hex Token candle on here. We're currently at 6.92 cents here on Hex, but the upsides are huge, right? So you want to buy when there's a lot of fear in the market. You pick up your positions in the fear, and then, of course, you get to ride up the upside because it's still coming down the line. It's getting closer. I'm actually amazed at the team. It's been not too long after the proof of stake fork. for Ethereum, and the team's already got all those clients up and running. It's working pretty well on the testnet, as we've been seeing on V3. So I think things are only getting better from here. And I'm expecting shorter timeframes for testing and getting to mainnet pretty quickly, because we know Richard wants to get to mainnet pretty quickly, especially with the Fed pivot. As I said to you guys, for me, the Fed pivot is a really good indicator for the markets, you know, and I'm pretty confident that we'll get that Fed pivot in May, despite some of the presidents being, you know, a few of the presidents being particularly hawkish because they want to close that gap. But we saw a nice inflation pullback, so we'll be watching that. I'm also interested to see the PCE, personal consumer expenditure inflation measure, which is different from the CPI. That's the one that the actual Fed monitors to get to their so-called, you know, the 2% target. So we'll see how that gets on. All right, where is that? Let's go into the daily here. Let's put the overlays back on. You can see what I mean by the time frame on here. So this is the Fed meeting here. So you can see we're not too far away from it, are we? We're 2 weeks and 1 day leading into this. Well, it's got 14 days on my calendar, but we just moved to today. So 2 weeks moving into this. So yeah, coming up pretty closely. So looking forward to it. And you can see my time frame still is in the sort of June range. I still think June's really kind of a cool range. But May is definitely on deck. And I know a lot of people are very popular about May. But, you know, we've got V4 coming out now. So does May really feel that it's going to be that close? I don't know. I still feel my June leading into July is what I've got here. This is sort of the launch range for PulseChain. Still feels pretty good to me. We get the pivot in the market. We get the V4 up. And then they go next up is mainnet. I know it seems pretty good. Yeah, so that's kind of on there. Now, obviously, some people are talking about, so we get a pivot here for the terminal rate on the interest rates. That stays up for a long period of time. We may enter into recession by the end of the year. And of course, that will be less effect on crypto, but more effect on the stock market. And so it should be good for us to you know, rally out of. So that's what I'm looking forward to there. All right, let's get into it. I've probably got day 1232. We all like to get paid on Hex Token channel with your host Superman. I'd like to get paid as well. Day 1232 on the Hex journey. Isn't that incredible? Hex is really just growing up there. Imagine the day when this finally turns 5555. Can you imagine that? And that being going to be incredible. I guess another cool day might be 3,690. I guess that's kind of cool too, right? So yeah, is that cool? 555 is pretty cool. 5555 is cool. But yeah, we're heading towards there, and starting to really, you know, add some days to there for sure. I guess halfway is really cool too. Halfway would be a cool date as well. So we got. So let me just do this math. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what would that be? Yeah, that'd be about day 2,778. Let's say that's like halfway. So 2,778. So you know. So that is 1,546 days away. 1,546 days away from now. So it's not, you know, I mean, it's not as long as we've already been out, but it's certainly getting close to that. So cool. Now, what else we got there? We got the price at 6.953 cents there. So we're down 9.1% from yesterday's price at 7.6. Our payout per T-share is 6.471. So we got paid very nicely today. Heading up towards 6.5, right? It's amazing. Now we may have big news coming up here. Just hold your horses. We may have it. Oh, look at the share rate. OMG. Here's one of it. So we're expecting the share rate to climb. I've got to bring it up now, folks. We have to do it. Hex 5. Bad boy, look at that. Up 115.9 hex per T-share. I might be losing track of the time. 18th of April. I guess maybe we were expecting something like that. Share rate there. Let's go to X5s. Let's go to full screen. Bam. So we were looking. Yeah, there's the jump. There is a jump in there. Wow. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're expecting by the end of 2023. I'm just following this line here. Bear with me. This one here, right here it is here. So we're expecting to be at 31,190 by the end of the year in the share rate. Man, earlier pays better. Earlier pays better, folks. And we have got a couple of jumps. We've got one jump today. We've got some smaller jumps coming up ahead of us into July. And then we have this big jump in August. Look at that huge jump. We expected to jump from, in August, we expected to jump from 28,500 to 28,900. So 400 400 hex per T-share jumped in August there. So that's not too far away at all. And then we've got another jump here in October, expected to jump, and another one here in December. And then by the end of the year, wow, that's a big change, isn't it? So yeah, 31. That's huge. That's huge. So 27,000. We're almost at 27,000. So that's what, another 4,000 hex per T-share expected jump by the end of the year. That is majorly significant. Now we know that if you're at the beginning of hex, you saw a little chart that had sort of a low level, a rise in the share rate, and then it was starting to go up, real curved up. And that's what we're starting to see now. Now we're into the fourth year. We're starting to see that curve inflection point and starting to rise up pretty strongly there. So 115.9, and you can see that curve in here. So it's kind of cool. The curve goes all the way up to 2026 on here, just to give you an idea. So the next couple of years. All right, so that's pretty important. Big day. Wow, I hadn't seen it, so it's kind of cool. Excuse me. We've got the average mine length at 6.95 years. Might have a little drink here. 6.95 years. So heading towards 7 years, which is pretty cool too. Lots of milestones happening, man, right in front of our eyes. Right in front of our eyes with binoculars. We've got the APY rate there, rewards and emergency in-stake penalties, 38.38% in hex terms, so very nice. Liquidity in the pool has gone up from 119 million hex to 135 million hex. We've got US dollars has gone down just under 4.7, down to just over 4 million. And ETH there at 543, down from 682 in the pool. What else we got going there? Wow, look at this, folks. OMG, is it tomorrow? Do you guys reckon it'll be tomorrow? I think so. We might get down in the ownership pool, and we might get down to 10 million, below 10 million. We'll go from 8 digits to 7 digits, down to 9 million something. Oh my gosh, I feel it's going to happen. Oh my goodness, is that crazy or what? I really feel it's going to happen. Remember, hex is really simple to understand on the most simplest level. So there's a reward pool and an ownership pool. And of course, if they go up or down relative to each other, then the hex power per T-share goes up or down, but we're expected to go up to the right. That's how simple hex is, a reward pool and an ownership pool. The ownership pool has T-shares in it, and you can see they've been going down dramatically over the last 12 days or so with all these large short-term minters. Yeah, just the way it goes. So pretty cool. That's expected all the way through to May at the moment. So yeah, it just feels like we're talking about the end of April, and some people talking about I think we were talking about also originally mid-May. Looks like we're going to do it potentially tomorrow, which is only like the 19th of April, so lots earlier there. And we'll see. We might get surprised, right? There could be a net TCM mining tomorrow, so maybe it doesn't happen tomorrow. But we'll see what people do. It's going to be interesting, but potentially it could happen tomorrow, given the numbers that we've been seeing lately. We're at 10,002,395 T-shares. OMG, if you've got T-share, you're one of these special holders here, and the ownership pool's going down. That means the hex power per T-share is going up, and you are winning on the yield. It's kind of cool like that. So the share rate's going up too, right? So it's harder to get shares, and as you guys know, I prefer a T-share mining ladder. That is the best approach from my point of view. And of course, there's opportunity cost, of course, time versus yield. But that is kind of my play. All right, so lock percentage of coins, 9.5% of hex is locked. We had really modest penalties lately. That's another interesting thing that we've had lately, right? Is really low penalties. So the penalties have been really low. So that indicates that people have been keeping their responsibilities. Maybe it's because Pulsechain's coming up. Maybe because a lot of people that were really aggressively in-staking have in-staked for the time being. Everyone's got a price, right? But maybe that is where we're at the moment, because this is pretty low in terms of penalties. So cool to see people keeping their responsibilities as the truth engine, as Richard would say, truth engine. So the payout is about 64.7 million hex, and of course the T-shares go down, so that gets distributed. You get more of it, right? More of that pool, and you get 50% of this as well. And the other 50% goes to the OA. It's a bit like a burn in sense, if you believe that the OA never sells, and it works for the benefit of all T-share miners. Then that's good news. That's good news. Lowers effective inflation as well, if you want to include that in your definition. So let's have a look at the growth in the numbers. We're up 76 on current holders, so 331,099. That's on the hex.com contract with liquid holders. The mining numbers have been, these are net mining numbers, so 7 here, I believe. So that is on the low side. So do spread the word, get out there, do direct promotions, and spread the word about Hex getting in on it. Remember, there's so much potential upside, right, with PulseChain Testnet V3. That's a very good thing to be able to spread the word on. Obviously, not financial advice, do your own research and all that sort of stuff, but definitely opportunities abound here as well. So there's different strategies to play it as well. So obviously, TCM mining ladders or max period, depending on your age and things like that. And also you can have some liquid Hex and TCM mining Hex, so you can have a bit of both as well. All gets copied over to PulseChain. So cool. Total holders up 189 to 552,823. And this is the other thing. We are very close. Is it gonna snapshot in the future? Is it gonna snapshot on 555, 555? We'll see. That's kind of one of the fun parts of the Hex numbers there. We'll see. Is it gonna end the day on a 555, 555? That'd be so good. That'd be so good if it does. That'd be really neat. All right. The other cool news, of course, we highlighted this yesterday. I think we may have been first to point it out too, just because of our timing. But the PulseChain V3 data is on the Hex Daily Stats, and that's bullish too for PulseChain, right? Nice. Everything is setting up nicely for the launch, and all the data will be there. People can make decisions on, and very, very cool on that. We can see the price of Hex is at $5.09 on PulseChain V3. It's already higher than that price on Etherchain. So those that were calling for a higher price, that is definitely the case there. We got let's do the division and let's do that. So the price on PulseChain for Hex is 52.7 times higher than Ethereum. So those that called that, they seem to have won. I'm just kidding. That is testnet, folks. That's just testnet. But jokes aside, it is pretty cool to see that. We've got the T-share rate there as well. The T-share price, is $134,866, given the fact that it's $5 X. Isn't that crazy? That's like how many times more than a Bitcoin? That's huge amounts higher than a Bitcoin. And of course, the share rate there, 26,466. Obviously, not a lot of people doing a lot of stuff. Remember, the snapshot presumably for that year was probably 26th of January. So that means that we've got a higher T-share rate on Ethereum. If logic plays out that way, a lot more people doing stuff. Obviously, not many people doing stuff, and there's no official front end. You can use app.pro, but other than that, for staking. Kind of cool there on the penalties and stuff like that. A little bit of penalties. Some people doing some stuff on there. What else there? Liquid Hex. We've got all the different incentive tokens as well, DAI pairs as well. So all the different trading pairs there on PulseChain. And of course, having the DAI up there is pretty interesting, right? It's kind of cool, as well as the incentive token there. So awesome. All Richard Hart tokens and stablecoin DAI is the preferred stable there, at least until the liquidity forks of Power City and Liquid Loans and the fiat on ramp ones, and maybe BankX possibly as a wild card. We will see on that one. So pretty cool. Pulse price obviously near 3 cents and so forth. Pretty cool on all that. So nice on that one. All right, I think that's kind of it for that one. Let's jump away. Bam, bam. And here we've got Hex at 6.9 cents. Just under a little bit of pressure, but that is where Hex is at the moment. Let's get into the chat. And we're on 1 hour and 4 minutes in the live stream. And it's been a bit of a fun show. I think it's been a fun show. Let's see who we're up to. Go back up to the top here. Got up to these comments. Sandy Beach, thank you, Hex Token and everybody. I'm sure on behalf of the community, we are wishing you the best there, Sandy. Hi, gang. Anita's in the house as well. Charles Stone says, Sandy, I wish you a successful surgery and a speedy recovery. Indeed. Thank you, everybody, from Sandy Beach again. And Charity's in the house says, hiya. Good to see you, Charity. Have a safe procedure, says QQ. Was it? Yes, payday, says Danu. Where are the Moneros? Where are the Moneros? Yeah. Actually, I haven't looked at Monero for a long time. I need to check that Monero. What else there? Woo! Massive jump in the share rate. Yeah, massive jump in the share rate. That was huge. Absolutely. Launch will make us all very happy peeps. Yes, Bob, it will. It will indeed. Imagine 2 years from today, we're all doing much better financially and all getting together for a meetup. Amazing. Look forward to that, says Bob Wells. Nice thoughts there, Bob. Nice sentiment. Love the show, says Charles. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. and 9 million party tomorrow stream, says Brennan. Yeah, I know. Imagine that. The T-shares under 10 million. OMG. There used to be over 11 million, folks. Just to give you some context, under 10 million, that'd be quite something to see. Obviously, we're expecting some liquid bags to re-mine T-shares, but we'll see what happens there. We definitely saw some large T-share holders grabbing more T-shares on the whale bot. So it's going to be fun to see that play out all over since up to May. I haven't pulled up the global staking ladder today, but maybe we'll look at that tomorrow, particularly if we hit the 10 million, under 10 million, and go to 9 million. Wow, that's crazy. It's crazy stuff. Nice, says Get Hex. Nice indeed. All right, we're up to an hour and 6 minutes. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I've just realized the price chart's not toggled up there. There we are. Sorry, folks. Man, you can pick up more Hex at this price. And man, I may very well be picking up Hex very soon. Not financial advice, but that's definitely looking very, very, very good. So cool. All right, what was I going to say? Hope you guys have enjoyed the show, and it's been fun again. We're on the best journey. We're in the golden crypto, crypto. You guys know it, and it's going to be life changing. Really, really cool. Spread the good word, as we say. Community is #1 numero uno. And of course, subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. Our Discord is free. It's free. We've got all the links to everything. Get in there in the Discord. The community is the #1. You guys make it energized. So get in there, comment about everything you want. We've got 2 main chats. We've got Richard Hart chat. We've got the PulseChain project chats, and you can talk about other tokens too. We're pretty free-minded in there. And of course, except for scams, of course, we get rid of those pretty quick. But get in there. We've also got a non-crypto chat. We've got lots of places in there you can chat and do audio chats too. Definitely get in there. It's a lot of fun. And you guys are ones that make it magic. Big once again, congratulations to Brennan joining our moderator team. He's just awesome. We do appreciate Brennan very much so awesome on that one. And what else have we got to say? Yeah, if you want to join and support the channel, hit the join button. We've got Pulsekins, Hexkins, and Richard Hart Club. And a great way, easy way of supporting the channel. You get some cool emojis in the chat and on Discord, special color name, private chats, and all sorts of stuff. So definitely get into all of that and more to come. All right, let's leave some cool video on the way out, shall we? Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna have fun. All right, where should I go here? You know what I'm gonna do? For those that really want to see a bit of Richard Hart, I'm going to show you. If you think PulseChain launch is going to be fun, I'm going to leave the video. It's 10 minutes long or 11 minutes long, but it's Richard Hart, the first day of launching Hex. And of course, it's Richard Hart's flashback video. So I'm going to play out that so you get a bit of vibe. This was the launch of Hex back on the, I guess, the 3rd, the 4th of December, 20. Let me get the right year. 2019. Yay! 2019 there. Man, we're moving so far into the future. It's crazy. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Take care, everybody, and bye for now.
Hello, everybody. I've waited a very long time for this day. It's finally come. I'm very happy. So let's talk about what happened. We've had the contract done, the code that makes Hex what it is, for a good long while. And we just wanted to make sure absolutely everything was right. So we got 2 independent audits from 2 different auditors. We got a mathematics audit. That's 3 audits. They're expensive and they're time consuming. And they do 2 things. They, 1, convince you that there's no bugs. And 2, they present that evidence to the audience in a format that they can understand. So if you look on hex.win right now, down under the security tab, you can see how to use hardware wallets with MetaMask, which is the wallet that we suggest for Hex. And you'll also see the mathematics audit and one of the security audits. Now, touch-up needs to be done on this. They need to be super duper finalized and prettied up. We'll get there. Since the bug finding phase is over, no reason to delay. What else? So the contract was supposed to launch at 7 p.m. EST, and I think we're 5 hours late. I'm not even sure how many hours late. And what that's going to do is it's going to make this first day, the adoption amplifier, where people send Ethereum in and it gets transformed into Hex, it's going to make it a little shorter. It's not actually going to have any effect after this day. So You know, actually, I could look at the wallet. I've got the wallet in the browser here. Wrong computer, streaming computer. I don't have the wallet. I don't have the browser here. So if you go to hex.win right now, or if you want a 10% bonus, pumpamentals.com, you know, you can click anyone's ref link. It's going to give you that same bonus. There's nothing special about pumpamentals.com. It's just the one that I talk about a lot. You could go to anybody else's. You'll still get the same 10% bonus. It works on the adoption amplifier where you transform ETH into Hex, and it also works on the free claim. Now, free claims will open. So here's the phase that we're in right now. The phase that we're in right now is there's a contract. It has all the game theory in it. It has all the logic in it. It has all the security in it. And for you to be able to talk to that contract, to be able to run that code, you either need to be really, really smart and go on something like etherscan.io and use their write contract feature, which allows you to interact with smart contracts manually. It's harder. Or you can do the easy way and go to go.hex.win. That's go.hex.win. I suggest you use https://. We like that security, the S. So if you want to run this code, so in Hex, you are the network. You mint your own coins, just like Bitcoin. If you're a Bitcoin miner, you brute force, find a hash of a nonce that has a number of, you know, starting zeros in front of it. And that's the difficult problem that you solve. It's not actually difficult. It's just energy consumption. It's literally the dumbest math you could possibly do, but you're doing a lot of it. It's not actually a difficult problem. It's just an energy intensive problem. So Bitcoin miners mine their own rewards, and Hex stakers and people that use the adoption amplifier also mine their own rewards. When you open up MetaMask, you have to tell it where the contract address is of the software that you want to run, because you are the network. You are the only one that can mint your rewards. You're the only one that can stake your coins. You're the only one that can claim your coins. There are no coins unless I haven't even looked at the contract. I haven't even seen how many people are using it. We tested it and everything was perfect. And then I started prepping to talk to you guys. You know, I'm seeing reports in chat that there's 560 Ethereum in that right now. Great. So how did people get 560 Ethereum into the adoption amplifier? Well, they went to go.hex.win, or they're really smart and use the manual way. And I mean, there's a tutorial, there's a guide on the front page of hex.win. It's the second video down. First video tells you why we're doing all this stuff, to replace the banks and do things Bitcoin can't do. Even though it's great software, even though it's got, you know, tons of really good things going for it, there's just some things it can't do, and it's never going to be able to do. So it only pays miners inflation. People think that Bitcoin's not proof of stake, but it is proof of stake. It means you have stake and mining hardware and electric bills. So it's a different form of proof of stake. It's the kind of stake that kind of, you know, pollutes the environment a little bit, but it's necessary. And so my point is, right now, those people that are sending Ethereum into the adoption amplifier, the reason they're doing that is because at the end of this day, they're going to get 1 billion hex. So if let's say there was, you know, 10,000 ETH in there, if you sent 1,000 ETH, you would get 10% of the 1 billion hex at the end of the day. So this is really interesting because really no one can get like a worse ratio than they deserve, because the other peers are setting it, right? So it's not like someone can get a better deal than you by getting in earlier than you. It doesn't work that way. You know, at the end of the day, everyone's getting the same ratio. It's prorated. Like if, you know, you're a bigger dude, you put in more money, you're going to get more hex out. By the way, I'm usually a little bit better at the old streaming and talking stuff, but I haven't slept in a long time. And so if you want to join the adoption amplifier, which is the only thing that's going on today. So yesterday we had the snapshot, went perfect. Everything went fine. Then we processed that snapshot today, and we took a top hash, which is also called a Merkle root, which is weird because they're opposites, right? So it's a Merkle root or a Merkle top hash. And what that does is it lets us very space efficiently store all of the data of all of the balances of the Bitcoin blockchain, the ones that are relevant to our project. We don't let multi-sig claim. So all those whales with multi-sig wallets, you guys watching, you don't have multi-sig whales. Whales do. Okay, you guys can't claim. Mt. Gox trustee, 138,000 Bitcoin, can only sell them legally, and no free coins for you, buddy. He's out. And once we did all the reductions and ran the math on the UTXO set before we top hashed it, I think there was only about 9.8 million Bitcoin or 9.86 million Bitcoin that could actually try to claim of the about 18 million total coins. So right off the bat, you know that as a staker, you're going to be given, like if you were the only staker in the system on day 353, you would get all of those coins, over half of the claim supply. But you'd actually end up getting more because those will get multiplied by up to threefold with the critical mass and virality bonuses. Math isn't exactly 3. So for instance, if a lot of really small addresses claim, then that pumps the reward more because, well, the math's hard to describe to you. So if I'm giving you unclaimed coins and then multiplying them by the percent that was claimed, it's they both end up going up, but like hard to explain math, right? So more claims moves the bonuses higher faster than larger claims does. Because while a larger claim is inflating its multiplier, it's also deflating what's being multiplied by, which is the unclaimed coins, right? So at least now, what other coins are going to be given out to all the people at the day 353? Satoshi's probably not going to claim. I think he's deceased. If he wants to come out and claim, he's totally allowed to. It's awesome. People are going to get a lot of late penalties. So if you don't claim your free coins, you start bleeding out 2% every week. And by week 50, you have nothing left. You can't claim anything. That prevents people like the Mt. Gox trustee from seeing a wonderful project, an innovative project with passionate, inspired, awesome people, of which so many people helped out tonight. We've got volunteers from all around the world. Everything that needs done, they help get done, right? They see that there's some spammers hitting up the chat room trying to scam people. Hey man, put me on as mod. And there's people I know, I trust them. All right, mod up, man. And then they go and kill the spammers, right? Beautiful. Great work. Thanks, Dan. We got 2 Dans. Thank you both, Dans. You did great work tonight. And then we've got Meme Squad making amazing memes. Now, because we've had so many, we've had, I don't know, a couple thousand people join the chat room over the last week or 2, I think. I should publish the stats. The rate at which, I would go to sleep for 4 hours. I'd wake up and there'd be, 1,000 messages. So if I slept 8 hours, it would be about 2,000 messages. And then it went absolutely crazy today. You can't do these types of world-changing, impactful things without help from people. You just can't. And what I found is that people that are passionate about the project are just hyper efficient. They really, really care. We've got, all right, guys, it's been absolutely fabulous. I haven't heard anyone's voice, but I felt connected.
Here in my $3,000 Valentino Rockstud purse, my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off. Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.